It's funny because I could see this scenario. I think the White Sox made him some lowball offer or something like that, like 7 years, 170 million or something like that. I could just imagine Machado's agent saying to the White Sox, "Oh yeah, well there's another team, and it might be the Pirates," and the White Sox people just laughing their heads off, like.
Which is exactly why they had to keep it a mystery team. Because if they said the Pirates, then the White Sox would be like, you know what? Never mind. We're going 7 years, 150. Because we sure as hell know it ain't the Pirates. So you just played your worst hand.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Donut Bag, part of the Pulse Podcast Network and the Pod Hub Network. In this episode, I talked to Ryan Alexander and Anthony DiNardo from the North Shore 9 podcast about the latest on the Pirates off-season. Are they really getting Manny Machado? Or what are they doing anyway? We try to figure it out. Anyway, the Donut Bag starts right now. All right, now to catch up on the latest on the Pirates, I have a special treat. I have Anthony DiNardo, who is okay. Hi, but we have Ryan also from North Shore 9. Oh my God, Ryan, how are you?
What's going on, Joe? How are you?
Hi, first time. Oh yeah. Hi, DiNardo.
What's this? This is what I get. This is the thanks I get.
You've been on before. It's nothing special. We got Ryan's on.
Exactly. Who cares?
Right. This is technically my first donut.
This is yeah. Your first time on there. Oh my goodness. So not a whole lot happening other than apparently we're tracking Manny Machado throughout the city, kind of like what we did with Le'Veon Bell.
Yeah, absolutely. He was with Jay-Z. So I really think this stuff's heating up. The Manny's going to be in a Pirates uniform this season.
Well, I just saw him down at Kogo's on the south side right before I got off of work.
Oh my goodness.
That's my terrible Ian Zerner accent, by the way.
Oh, that was an accent? Yeah, that was garbage.
See?
I thought you were just talking normal.
Right. Yeah, you got to throw the Kogo's in there. That's the accent, Kogo's.
Yeah. What was it? I think we talked Monday, and that was really when the Machado talk heated up, and then because they're the mystery team or something. What is going on with the Pirates? I know you guys were talking about this on your show, but this can't be it for their moves this season. I hope not for this offseason.
Yeah, Ron, want to take the helm of that one?
Sure. I mean, we like I said, Joe. Yeah, you mentioned it. We talked about it. We have to fill a full off season every week of off season Pirate talk when nothing's really happening. So not much has happened since what, the Lonnie Chisenhall signing. So yeah, it's been a little slow and a little dry. We got to kind of, I don't know. I mean, we're hearing this mystery team. Then Heyman says there's. If Heyman knew that the Pirates were a mystery team, well, how would he know? Because they're a mystery. The mystery team's a mystery. So how does Heyman know that they're not the mystery team? That's what I don't get. But I mean, look, DiNardo and I are trying to have some fun with it. With tweeting out the pic of him being at the Pitt game and everything last night. But it's like, yeah, I mean, it makes sense. Everything put aside about the ownership and everything, it makes perfect sense. The Pirates have a big hole at shortstop. They need a premier bat in the middle of the lineup. Like, he's that guy. Their payroll is pretty much the lowest it's been in years. Like, they actually could afford it and still only be at $100 million. But then you think of it, well, it's nutting. It's the Pirates, and we're not allowed to have nice things. So it's like, obviously, it's not half. Yeah, it's just like, yeah, we can have some fun with it, right? I mean, who knows? Who knows what's going on with Manny?
I love that the whole.
He'll have his first per Manny sandwich in.
Yeah. I love the whole idea of the mystery team, but yeah, it's not the Pirates. I'm sure Machado's agent or whoever is floating out the whole mystery team thing, but I mean, what's going on with Machado? I think basically it's either the White Sox or the Yankees or something like that. I think are the only teams that are actually won him.
Well, I mean, it really seems like the Yankees aren't even in on them. It really seems as it's the White Sox and the Phillies. But I mean, I'll put it this way. Ryan was on Twitter more or less talking, in regards to this about, it's one thing, even if the mystery team is the Pirates and the Pirates are the highest bidder, Manny's got to say okay to that to come here. So, and I think the point of that is, it takes two to tango. And just because you're the highest bidder, you know what? If maybe LA is just a couple million less, maybe I'll go to LA instead. Or hell, maybe Miami. There's no sales tax there. It's Miami. I'll go there for a little bit less. So just being the highest bidder isn't like the end all be all. Now it's said that Manny pretty much says he's going to go to the highest bidder. But I'm with you, Joe. It tells me that everyone has a preference. If you're a big time free agent, you can sign wherever you want to sign. You would have a preference. And if that preference isn't the highest bidder, then I'm going to try to make them the highest bidder. And how do you do that? You tell them that there's some other teams that want me, and you don't disclose who those teams are. So, I mean, realistically, like what Ryan said, you can see all the stars lining up and how, Manny Machado to the Pirates makes sense in theory, but it's probably not going to happen. And, maybe Manny Camp sees that as well, and they're using the Pirates essentially to just go ahead and do that. It's like they're really just playing us.
It's funny because I could see this scenario. I think the White Sox made him some lowball offer or something like that, like 7 years, 170 million or something like that. I could just imagine Machado's agent saying to the White Sox, "Oh yeah, well there's another team, and it might be the Pirates," and the White Sox people just laughing their heads off,
which is exactly why they had to keep it a mystery team. Because if they said the Pirates, then the White Sox would be like, you know what? Never mind. We're going 7 years, 150. Because we sure as hell know it ain't the Pirates. So you just played your worst hand.
Nice offer, guys. But I just talked to Bob Nutting. What do you think about that? You're shaking in your boots now, aren't you?
Yeah, that's if anything, that's why it had to be a mystery team. You couldn't come out and say, "Well, the Pirates are on the other line," because nobody's believing that. No other GM is believing that.
Listen, let's expose this for what it is, and to me, it's pretty obvious between last year and this year. There is collusion out the yin yang going on here. There's no way Machado is in his prime. Most teams would kill to have him. You mean to tell me there's this little interest in him, and we have to wait this long to sign him? Same thing with Harper. Like Harper is in his prime too, and what kind of offers is he getting? I think it's obvious there's collusion going on.
See, I really don't think there is collusion.
Yeah,
and I might be in the minority of that, but I really don't. And we touched a little bit of this on the show when we had Trash Cats on, talking to Geddes and Tong. And my take on it is to really have collusion, you have to have all 30 owners, involved. And I just don't feel like all 30 could get there. I mean, sure, if I was one of the owners, I'd be like, oh yeah, let's do this, and then I'd go ahead and offer Manny Machado $300 million because I want him and I know no one else will. It seems as if analytics. Teams being smarter, teams realizing, I mean, the big markets are seeing what small markets doing. They're realizing why are we paying all this money for these big time contracts when it hinders us? I mean, look at the Yankees when they had A-Rod, they had Beltran, they had Teixeira. It was just a mess of a team. CeCe's big contract, it was a mess. And the Yankees were strapped. I mean, think about that. They cut payroll. They were strapped. So in their eyes, it's like, why pay these big time contracts? Why pay for these declining players? So I think teams are realizing that, and it ultimately, of course, it's hurting the player.
And I agree with you, because I don't think there's collusion. And like I said, I think it's just teams are wising up. They got smart. It's the system, it's the structure that's in place that the players in, the union, they signed it and it's in place, and the teams have figured out that why would I pay a 30 and a 31-year-old, 10 years, 300 million, look at Albert Pujols. I mean, we can go through these deals that they signed that, Miguel Cabrera, the Tigers can't give them away at this point. So we see these deals like teams don't want to do that. And I get it. Manny and Harper are kind of the exception. They're younger still, and they're, superstars. They still might get their payday. 5 years ago, I think they would have already been signed for 300 million, 10, 8 years, who knows. But at this point, I think teams are waiting these guys out as the price comes down, and they're hesitant of putting up a 10-year deal for 30 million plus per year. It's just in the long run, it doesn't make sense, and the way its structure is set up, they can do it. So, I mean, yeah, like you tweeted out, DiNardo, what are you guys going to be doing during the strike? Because yeah, this next negotiation period is going to be a brutal one because these players are ticked, and rightfully so, but the owners they're playing by the rules of, what was set up, the financial structure. And I still think it's the part where small market teams can actually have an advantage and jump in, like DiNardo kind of alluded to, and jump in on some of these deals. But we're seeing the Pirates haven't done that. Lowry, Asdrubal Cabrera, Brian Dozier, all these guys are going to
that's a
everybody
crime.
else for cheaper deals.
Cabrera signing a $3.5 million contract with the Rangers, and then Markakis a 1 year. Essentially, it's a 1 year $4 million. Everyone's saying $6 million, but that's because the buyout next year is $2 million. This year is getting paid $4 million. It's a crime. It's ridiculous about how low these guys are getting paid.
I'm telling you, I think it's because of collusion. I think they all get together. The owners get together and say, hey, I want Machado, and everybody's like, okay, we'll leave you alone. I don't know. There's two crazy scenarios here. All the owners get together and decide on something, or the owners get smart and decide not to pay a lot of money. Neither scenario makes sense. Because one thing we've seen from owners of any sport is they're not very smart, and somebody is always dumb enough to spend a lot of money. So I don't know.
Yeah, where's these Dan Snyders at, and in MLB right now?
Yeah, exactly. There's always an idiot. I don't know, but either way, whatever it is, they're still not signed. When do pitchers and catchers report? In like 3 weeks, right?
Yeah, it's like February 13th or something this year, I think.
Yeah, it is.
Well, let's look to last
20
year.
days, 9 hours, 32 minutes.
Not that we're counting.
Not at all.
Let's look to last year as a guide. Last year, we missed the anniversary. It was on January 14th that the Pirates traded Garrett Cole, and January 17th that the Pirates traded McCutchen, and basically the Pirate fan civil war intensified, and the Nuttings wallet forces, they're pretty galvanized by this offseason.
Well, we talked about it on our show. Look, if we go into March, whatever, spring training, middle of spring training, and the payroll's still sitting at 71 million, I mean, I'm going to be up in arms as well. It's just, the Pirates, I think, missed that opportunity with everybody, basically all these teams not wanting to spend money. They could have went out and got a guy like Lowry on the cheap for him, and then even Asdrubal Cabrera really cheap. They don't do that, and then it's like you have a hole at shortstop. You have some other holes, and are we not filling it? Like, what was the Archer and Kella trade? To me, like, that's the thing where you went out and you got Archer and Kella, you put your foot down, you said, this is what we're going to, make a stand, we're going to get better, and we're going to make this move. And I get it, they're controllable. They're not, those guys weren't, insanely expensive. They have nice team-friendly deals, but it's like, keep adding to it. Like, you still have a hole. Like, you can't go into the season with Newman and maybe Eric Gonzalez as your shortstop. It's just, there has to be more coming down the pike. So I don't know what they're waiting on. Maybe they're waiting out, somebody else. I mean, I don't even, at this point, does Iglesias or Freddie Galvis, does it really add that much to the team? I guess it's an established shortstop, if anything, and not that way you're not relying on Newman. But holy heck, like something has to happen. You would